Plastic bottle, my story. The first thing I remember is coming out of a very hot machine, and I was in a long line of hundreds of bottles, same as me. Next. And after a few days there, we were taken in another lorry to a supermarket, and 2 days later, we were unwrapped and I was put on a shelf in the shop. I wasn't there long before I was quickly put in a shopping basket and bought. And that's where I am now, and where I will stay be in hundreds of years' time, just floating around. And I didn't get to the person's house. It was a hot day, so they drank my water outside the supermarket, and I was thrown away in a bin in the supermarket car park. I floated in the water all the way to the sea. After many weeks and months slowly drifting, I ended up in the middle of the Pacific Ocean with lots of other bottles, and I was filled with water and given a label. Then I was wrapped in plastic with many others bottles, and we were put in a big lorry and went on a very long journey. And on the journey to the rubbish dump, there was a bump. The bag I was in fell out into the road. Then a car hit us and I was thrown in the river. I quickly lost my label in the water. The next day, I was picked up in the rubbish bag and thrown into a bin lorry. We were taken to a big building with thousands of other bottles, cans, packets, and boxes.
My story, the first thing I remember is coming out of a very hot machine. I was in a long line of hundreds of bottles, the same as me. After a few days there, we were taken in other lorry to a supermarket. 2 days later, we were unwrapped and I was put on a shelf in the shop. I wasn't there long before I was quickly put in a shopping basket and bought. And that's where I am now, and where I will still be in hundreds of years time, just floating around. I didn't get to the person house. It was a hot day, so they drank my water outside the supermarket. I was thrown away in a bin in the supermarket car park. I floated in the water all the way to the sea. After many weeks and months slowly drifting, I I needed up in the middle of the Pacific Ocean with lots of other bottles. I was filled with water and given a label. Then I was wrapped in plastic with many other bottles, and we were put in a big lorry and went on a very long journey. On the journey to the rubbish dump, there was a bump. The bag was in fell out into the road. Then a car hit us, and I was thrown into a river. I quickly lost my label in the water. The next day, I was picked up in the rubbish bag and thrown into a bin lorry. Uh, we were taken to a big building with thousand thousand of other bottles, cans, packets, and boxes.
My story. The first thing I remember is coming out of a very hot machine. I was in a long line of hundreds of battle at the same as me. After a few days there, we are taken in another lorry to the supermarket. After 2 days later, we were unwarped and I was put in the shelf in the shop. I wasn't there long before I was quickly putting in the shop basket and bow. And that's where I'm now. I'm where I will still be hundred of years time, just floating around. And I didn't get to the person house. It was a hot day. They drank my water outside to the supermarket. I was thrown away in a bin in the supermarket car park. I floated in the water all day uh, to the sea. After many weeks and months slowly drifting, ended up in the middle of the Pacific Ocean with the lost another bottles. I was filled with water and given a label, and I was warped in the plastic many others bottle, and we are putting in a big lorry and went on a very long journey. On the journey to the rubbish dump, there was a bump. The back I was fell out into the road. Then a car hit us and I was torn into a river. I quickly lost my label in the water, and next day I was picked up in the rubbish bag and thrown into a big lorry. We were taken to a big building with a thousand of other bottles, cans, packets, and boxes. Box.